Hello, how you doing, guys? It's Damon yet again. I think that after this rebooking episode, I'm not gonna tape one more episode for the day. That's the last episode I taped for the day, and it's from one of my favorite WrestleManias. One WrestleMania I could watch over and over again, and I don't think it aged badly. In fact, I think it aged well. WrestleMania 12. The only thing that aged badly was the Huckster versus Nacho Man pre-show match, and even then, it's on pre-show. I never saw it again. Beside the first time I saw it in 1996. And knowing it's 30 years later, two things come to mind. Boy, I'm old. Boy, I'm getting old. And three, things do change. I mean, it's petty, and there's things that don't change. I mean, the symbol of WrestleMania 12 was basically their version of Fox movie studios. But at the same time, they didn't promote, it wasn't a Fox production, Fox movie production. But there was the WrestleMania 12 sign logo on the mat. I liked it. 30 years later, we got tons of logos on the mat and none of WrestleMania, which doesn't bug me as many people as much it bothers Solo Monster. Shout out to you, Jason. I love you. But it kind of does. It kind of does bother me because it's like, okay, I don't mind you have sponsor. Hey, you have to pay the bills. It's a company. You can make it independently fine. By this point in TKO, I'm expecting people to just mention other shows and without expecting return. It's like if you thought the guest host era was bad in terms of celebrity takes, and gives barely anything back, that's what it feels like. Sponsors take, and give nothing back. They don't have, I mean, would the sponsor have a publicity ad or an ad basically with wrestlers promoting another product? But with this product in the background, no. Think about this. Wrestlers basically let actors run basically amok sometimes on WB projects. But would it be the other way around? If the other way around happened, do you think basically, hey, an actor will go in a Christopher Nolan movie and say, you know what? Feature the wrestler more often? No. Then why should we do this? You know? Anyway, no run for this. How would I do WrestleMania 12? I would have six match on each night. I know, Bruce Richard doesn't want to be triggered, so I could fit six match a night. Plus, knowing the final main event of that the night too, you kind of have to only have six matches. I would start off night one, WrestleMania 12 night one, with the World Tag Team titles. And that Body Donnas would indeed be in the finals of the tournament. But I could not put the Godwins in there. Because I thought a better story would have been Barry Owens and Akushi face off Body Donnas. Saying Barry Owens, the guy was super over in 995. I went to a house show like in September 95, and basically it was the opening match, Owens and Skip. The crowd went erupted for Barry Owens. Like, I'm not saying you should have put a title on him, but you gotta give him a bigger push. You had something there, and at least have him at a match at WrestleMania. At least that's the least you can do for this guy. And my opinion is you have him team up with Akushi, take on Skip and Zip, and that's where basically the Body Hunters actually finally avenge himself and beat Barry Owens and win the tag titles. In the second match, I would have Fatu beat Mr. Bob Backlund and Mr. Bob Backlund snapping afterwards. Made it basically making a difference. Fatu. In the third match of the night, I would have it like in real life, the six-man tag. Jake Roberts, Ahmed Johnson, Yokozuna take on Cam Cornette. It's one of my top five favorite openers of WrestleMania. You can't change my mind. Yeah, sure. Bret Wrestling is number one. It's like no one comes close. No one. EO versus Rhea versus Bianca is also there. It's in the top five, but I'm not sure it's number four or five. Daniel Bryan versus Triple H is number two. Seth Rollins versus Miz versus Finn Balor is number three. So I'm not sure which one is it beat. Is it basically number four, number five in terms of best openers of all time? But it's there. I loved every bit of it because you had all of it. You have basically the brutal strength, the brutality of sheer brutality of Vader, the strength, the immense strength of the British Bulldog, the zany technical wizardry of Owen Hart. You have Jake Roberts' in-ring psychology, Yokozuna's basically silent but brooding, menacing ability, and you have Ahmed's intensity but often unintentionally hilarious screams. You had it all. And yet, for some random reason, Mr. Fuji for turned face with the USA flag that you never saw him before, never turned face on TV. I thought it was weird that he turned face out of nowhere. He could basically have a segment for it. And yeah, it was a very, very good opener. And I'm tempted in having Yokozuna win Steam because I would have Jim Cornette face off against Mr. Fuji. Maybe it's just me, but seen as Vader was, but I like the fact that Jake was seen as resilient. He kicked out of a Enziguri from a win, kicked out of a running power slam that match. I would have made and kicked out of a running Vader splash. I would have kept it this, and if he needs to be pinned, you can have him get. If there's anybody on the face team who needs to be pinned, it's Jake. I agree, but I'm not sure where I would have won, would have had win. But if it has to be somebody, I think it's Vader's team needs to win. Now that was the third match. The fourth match will be for the $1 million title. It's Stone Cold Steve Austin defending against Savio Vega. Like in real life, Savio Vega gets knocked out. $1 million dream. Good match. Austin wins. The before the last match is a farewell match because both of them, these two will be leaving WWE soon. It's mentioned before and they wanted to go out on their own. It's Adam Bomb versus Bam Bam Bigelow. It's an 8-9 minute match. Adam Bomb won the IC title from Jeff Jarrett. The year prior, he lost it back in July. He lost it back to early July to Jeff Jarrett, who went on to lose it to Shawn Michaels. Razor still had his title changes. He was a third-time champion. But after Jeff Jarrett lost the title to Shawn, Jeff Jarrett disappeared. Shawn went on to go for a title. Shane Douglas did legit beat Shawn Michaels. But on Raw, Razor got the title back. He lost to Goldust, and same as in real life afterwards. And Bam Bam Bigelow lost the WWE title match. But actually went on to not be a jobber at the start. He went on to basically defeat many. He defeated Tatanka. He defeated British Bulldog. He could have him have basically more of an impact. But Adam Bomb and Bam Bam Bigelow is a farewell match, and after 9 minutes, Adam Bomb wins. In the main event of WrestleMania 12, Night 1, Undertaker takes on Diesel. Same exact match, same exact finish. WrestleMania 12, Night 1 ends when The Undertaker wins. WrestleMania Night 2. I had to struggle to find an opener match there. I have, since I think Billy Gunn had a rodeo injury, I would have Bart Gunn taking on Aldo Montoya. Not a really great match, not a really great like light up opener, but it's a match that basically surprises people by much better than they thought it would be. You can have Bart Gunn win. So you have the Godwins next match. Godwins versus the New Rockers. It's a pretty good match. Godwin wins. It's like there's less heels that win over the night before. And then you have Bob Holly versus Mankind. Mankind distributes here. And I want this to be basically a moment that basically is etched in everybody's mind. You have Mankind beat Bob Holly, and Bob Holly, the moment you hit on he's hit by the Mandible Club by Mankind, he's fought in the mouth after the match. Similar to 10 years prior, how George Wells was fought in the mouth when Jake Roberts dropped his snake on him. So like a similar connection there. So yeah. On a side note, now realize, looking back, that the first WrestleMania and the last active WrestleMania Jake Roberts are just 10 years apart. What do you know? In the fourth match. Before the penultimate match, you have Triple H against the Ultimate Warrior. Keep all of it. I'm not joking. Keep the squash that it is. I laugh so much at this match, and I laugh the fact that people think, "Oh, it's the only squash match on the Triple H had that year." No, baby, no, baby. You had this match. You had the October match with Freddie Joe Floyd on Superstar, where Freddie Joe Floyd, being an announcement town, was the first ever guy to kick out the pedigree. Said, "No, no, brother, I'm not getting pinned by that." And I still to this day remind and rib my brother about it because it's like we laugh out loud in 1996 when we saw that because it's like, oh, he's gonna get pinned. He always gonna be interfered. 1, 2, emphatic kick out. We laugh like crazy. Before there was anything, it was basically social media. You would have laughed. Imagine if basically Hulk Hogan did the leg drop to somebody, to Mario Mancini, for example, and all of a sudden Mario Mancini said, "No, not tonight, brother," and kicks out. You wouldn't laugh? You'd say something's up, like, "Oh, this guy's not going to be working here anymore." And I think Tracy Smothers, as Fred Joe Friend, didn't work that much anymore afterwards, but still, it's hilarious. And then in December 1996, Sid absolutely squashed the living hell out of Triple H in a champion versus champion match in which Triple H didn't even get a punch on Sid. And it still makes me laugh because Sid came out first, and Sid, the way he ran like a crazy person towards Hunter was making his entrance, still makes me laugh because Sid is unintentionally hilarious, and he delivers two power bombs. Triple H was crawling in the back. Sid wins without any effort. He didn't even take off his jacket. Triple H getting squashed is glorious, and none more glorious than WrestleMania 12. Oh, I want to kick out of your splash once, have a competitive match. No, why? I agree with Ultimate Warrior there. It's not doing business, knowing your worth. I mean, if an independent wrestler all of a sudden becoming the main times, like, hey, you know what? Hulk Hogan, I want to be a one-on-one match. And I want to be fair match with you. And then basically his answer is tree punch, leg drop, pin. I'm going over, brother. What do you expect? Let's be honest, Triple H always came off as entitled, and he came off as really entitled then, and he still kind of is entitled now with supposed legacy. He can win 20 world titles, beat everybody's record, and still comes up as less than compared to Hogan, compared to Sammartino, to Brett, to Shawn. Here's a guy who has a legacy of basically ripping off everybody, and pretends his own style. He ripped off Shane Douglas style, dressing style. He ripped off Ric Flair's haircut and basically some of his promos. He ripped off Harley Race's beard. He ripped off how many people? And yet somehow he's original. Maybe it's me, but maybe because I grew up with Triple H, I always felt, what's the fascination of this guy? Other than it's dependable. If anything, you should have basically given him like the Miz thing. Not always the main event, sometimes the mid card. He's always there. Don't get me wrong. He always has a spot in the BB, but he's not always the main event. Because even his in rematch, yeah, from 2000, 2011, 1999 to 2001, 1999, 2001 were very good. But afterwards, nah, nah. And as you can see in that rebooking series, he's the, or you see in real life, sorry, which I will remedy too. He's the king of winning at WrestleMania when he shouldn't have had. I'll just say that. But getting back to the topic before I go into another tangent, I want the squash Ultimate Warrior Triple H stays and put my foot down. I don't care if there's only 6 match. If there was only 6 match on the main card too, we keep that match. But I'm losing my voice defending it. In the next match, again, Razor Ramon has suspension. And I'd be tempted to give him back the IC title, but he had a suspension in real life, so you can't give him back the IC title. But I thought it was weird that the VHS cover, yeah, the technology before DVDs, guys. The VHS cover, there's Razor Ramon's face. It is nowhere near on the pay-per-view. I would rectify this is he's still suspended, but for one night only he's allowed to come back. You keep that suspension afterwards. So because he's suspended, title is not allowed to be on the line. So it's going to be Razor Ramon teaming up with Roddy Piper, take on Goldust and the 1-2-3 Kid. The final, basically, here's the thing: Razor is not participating. He's not even part of the final pinfall of the final in that Hollywood Backlog brawl. It still leads up to Goldust getting humiliated like he does in real life, except in that humiliation, it's Razor Ramon who does it. And then punches him out to the outside, and Goldust tries to cover himself, but Razor chases them to back as well as Marlena, so you don't see them anymore. 1, 2, 3 Kids try something. Piper Dog, sleeper, that's it. So Piper loses last match date. He relinquished his role of president of the WB back to Gorilla Monsoon, and that's how it goes. And the main event, as you probably guessed, is the Iron Man match between Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart. Again, I this respectfully but vehemently disagree with Jason Salmon, who said there should have been a treat to cover. And I thought, no, I like the fact that it's an Iron Man match that there's no covers. The only problem I got with this is why is it even an Iron Man match? But one way or another, Bret versus Shawn should not have any pinfall because to me, if somebody gets pinned over, I don't know, if Bret got pinned by a teardrop suplex, it makes it less impactful at the end. So maybe it's not an Iron Man match, but it is a 60-minute match, and the 60 minutes do expire. Same way, Bret thinks he won because it's sharpshooter on. He doesn't see any resistance from Shawn. The count comes down to 0. He thinks Shawn submitted. He didn't. Bret celebrates, but he's ordered back the ring because it's sudden end rules, because nobody had a fall there. And Piper said there must be a winner. That was a stipulation in the contract. There must be a winner no matter what. And Bret's like basically hungry. This is where he starts to be a bit whiny. Goes back to the ring, can't wrestle like a heel for 2 minutes, gets a super kick, but Shawn's too hurt to this. But then the master of the super kick gets up and delivers one sweet chin music, even a little bit of a leap there. Just as much as the leaping tombstone at WrestleMania 26, he kind of leaps there for a super kick, pins Bret for the 1, 2, 3, he got him, and got Vince McMahon so excited. But it's like, and probably you still have my brother turned off angrily at television because it's like, there's nothing to see, Damon. Go back to sleep. Probably still be mad about this because he still this day he said Bret Hart never lost at WrestleMania 12. But anyway, I keep the same ending as it needs to be. So I had fun this WrestleMania, and I needed to do this because WrestleMania 11 was a chore to book. So let me know what you think down below, and I wouldn't blame you if you had a thumbs down for WrestleMania 11. Because honestly, with that roster, I'm saying, good God, we're lucky there was Nitro going on and ECW. So that note, WrestleMania 13 will be more exciting because there's some predictability there. But until then, take care, guys.